Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I normally only do one video on the weekend, but I decided to do one today because I was watching this BitBoy thing. He jumps a plane to the Bahamas so that he can go stand outside of Sam Bankman-Fried's his multi-million-dollar condo there in the Bahamas, and it was just interesting to watch. And then they did a Twitter Spaces, and I got to go in and listen to that, and they got escorted away with security guards. He's still down there. So I just thought I'd cover some of that and some other things going on. Check, this is BitBoy standing in front of, this is Sam Bankman-Fried's car, and somebody had sent this as a joke, like, look behind you, he's right behind you. That was doctored. But this is the guy that was with BitBoy. But they literally were standing beside his car. And then I think here, well, I don't think I pulled the video, but there was a video of him leaning on his car. But here's the one of him standing outside of his condo.
Sam, where are you?
That's his condo up there.
We're looking for you. We just want to talk, Sam. I know that's where you're at, buddy. It's okay. Sam, in all seriousness, though, we just want you to come tell your story. Unblock me on Twitter. Come tell your story. Let's talk. I'll come up there. I'm not scared y'all are going to kill me. It's gonna take a lot for y'all to do that. I just want to talk. That's all. Or you can come out. You can come out down here. It's fine. You can come out down here. We're down here by some yachts. I mean, check out these nice yachts over here. That's a famous yacht right there. But we're just out here. That's all we want, man. Just come.
All right. Then there was this. This is when they're being escorted away by security guards.
Because there's a reason why they feel safe enough to where they can just call security and try to get us kicked out. It's unbelievable. When you've got as much political power as Barbara and Joe have, and you guys make connections as you have, and you're used to doing whatever you want to do your entire life, being a securities lawyer, coming up with $121 million for real estate as professors and security lawyers, it's very apparent what's going on here. And their scam is up. Their jig is up. People know this at this point.
All right. So this will get interesting. I'll make sure and pay attention to what's going on down there today. Then they had this, the CEO, this Caroline Ellison, whose dad was the MIT professor that was Gary Gensler's boss at MIT. She has fled from Hong Kong to Dubai. And don't forget Gary Wang. He has also escaped. Okay. Then, so Jake Travinsky's who's an attorney, he's getting all upset about this. I can't believe mainstream media is still running stories about Sam Bankman-Fried without a single mention of his criminality. This is a con man who perpetuated a historic fraud. He stole billions of dollars from unsuspecting victims. How is that not the lead of every story? FTX didn't collapse. It was revealed for what it was, a criminal enterprise in the business of stealing money. See, now when you've got these these lawyers that are in DC talking like this, folks, this is all going to collapse. The bad guys are being exposed, folks. Remember the name of those who covered for SBF. As all this unfolds, pay attention. Remember the names, the Andrew Ross Sorkins who are going to interview this guy like he's a normal guy that made a mistake. Remember these people because they're exposing themselves for what they are. Remember the media. Remember all of the people who cover and act like this. Oh, this is not a crime. This is just a mistake, and he was trying to give away a lot of money, and it just didn't work out. Remember those people. Remember who they are, because people are being forced out of the shadows for what they are right now. Speaking of, Charles Gasparino did a New York Post article. SEC Chair Gensler rushing to unveil big changes amid the FTX scandal. In other words, Gary's going to go try to draw your attention to something completely different while all this is going on. And there's reasons for that. Here's one of them. Check this out from James Rule. This was the general counsel, Ryan Miller, for FTX. He was with Sullivan Cromwell before that, which is Jay Clayton's law firm. And before that, he was at the CFTC. He was legal counsel to Chairman Gary Gensler. There he is, folks. I'm not saying that guy knew of the fraud or was involved. I'm just saying, what are the chances that Gary Gensler, legal counsel to Gary Gensler at the CFTC, just happens to pop up and be general counsel at FTX? Folks, let me tell you what. This country is on death's door if the corruption in this country is not dealt with. I mean, we're not just talking corruption, folks. We're talking about people who are traitors to this country in many instances. This is some sick stuff going on. Now, this guy, this is one of those Bitcoin / Ethereum maxis. I think this is one of the guys from Bankless. He says, so many people failed us, but who still has a pristine reputation in crypto? Well, this is what I said. The answer to this question gives this guy nightmares. These are the people, folks. It has not been a coincidence. The same people who have been pointing at Ripple and calling it a scam and saying that XRP is this and XRP is that, the same people, those same people, and I'm not saying this guy in particular, but that same group of people, at every turn, they are the same group of people who are investing in all of these things that actually become the scams and the frauds. It's the same people. And we have proof. We have proof. Look at this right here. This is what you're looking at is FTX. They were a donor to Senator Gillibrand, okay? Investors in FTX, multi-coin capital. And they lost more than half of its cryptos. Now, these two guys are the same two guys that were out bragging about how they were shorting XRP back in 2018. You remember this? And by the way, they're the biggest donor. Cynthia Loomis's biggest donors are these guys, okay? Look. There's the screenshot.
So what's the second reason why you're not a big XRP people?
The second biggest reason is I think that there is a real chance that XRP could be declared a security.
They just have.
Not a single exchange in the world today that trades crypto is a SEC registered exchange.
Now remember who these guys are. Multicoin Capital. I mean, everywhere you look, these guys, Multicoin Capital pops up around well, in this case, around FTX. But remember, Multicoin Capital. These are the guys, both of these guys were shorting XRP because we just feel like it's going to be called a security. Then all of a sudden, SEC comes after it. Guess who two of their limited partners are? Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures, the two venture capital firms that were responsible for working out what became the Ethereum free pass. It's not a coincidence that all these same groups of people, and then you had him, Mike Novogratz, big believer in Luna. He doesn't understand XRP. He just can't figure it out. Remember this?
What do you make of the big move in XRP that we've seen recently?
You know, I wish someone could explain it to me.
So you don't get it either?
Listen,
I just don't get it. But he got Luna, and he also got FTX. Crypto financial firm Galaxy Digital reveals $76.8 million FTX exposure as CEO Novogratz hunkers down. Okay? And then there was this, Matt Hamilton, this was a tweet about Matt Hamilton, who used to be with Ripple, on source of most disinformation spread about XRP. And I said it's been coordinated effort for years. FUD bragging about shorting XRP, calling it decentralized security. The irony is most of the people behind all of it can be directly linked to almost every fraud and scam we've seen in crypto. And I'm not saying any particular one of all these people, but just by pure coincidence, they all seem to totally get these things that end up being scams or frauds. They can figure that out. That makes sense to them, but not XRP, right? Not XRP. Well, look at this. So Matt Hamilton, he says, this person says, did Satoshi or early day message boards ever discuss fraud, scammers, Matt Hamilton says, in the early days of Bitcoin talk, you could earn 5 Bitcoin by posting FUD that XRP was a centralized and a scam. This is the source of most of the disinformation spread about XRP to this day. Didn't know that. Cheers, Matt. Yeah, someone was DMing a bunch of people on there and offering them 5 Bitcoin if they posted some specific FUD about XRP, saying it was centralized and a scam. If you look through the old posts, you will see a discussion of that at that time, right here. I was offered $550 to say Ripple is a scam. Ripple's a scam. Ripple's a get-rich-quick scheme for its creators, And this is what rolled in for the last 8+ years to everything we've seen. Now, Stuart Alderati tweeted this yesterday, I believe. A primer. As part of its continuous watchfulness over the SEC, Congress is entitled to information, including about investigations, to make sure that the agency is not abusing its limited power nor diminishing Congress' role in shaping national policy. I saw that and I immediately thought, well, I think Stuart Alderati wants Congress to ask for this information. Remember when Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati tweeted these two things? Brad said, the SEC wants you to think that it cares about disclosure, transparency, and clarity. Don't believe them. When the truth eventually comes out, the shamefulness of their behavior will shock you. And then Stuart Alderati says, over 18 months and 6 court orders later, we finally have the Hinman docs, internal SEC emails, and drafts of his famous 2008 speech. While they remain confidential for now, at the SEC's insistence, I can say that it was well worth the fight to get them. Now, I believe his tweet yesterday was basically saying, Congress, come get these documents we've got, because Gary obviously doesn't want to settle. I mean, this is what I'm assuming here. That's what it looks like to me. And I don't know legally how Congress can get those things. I don't know how that works. Now, let me give the caveat that because this tweet that this guy put out is extremely dangerous. The crypto police could be all over him for this. What he is doing is just so dangerous. You're not allowed to say things like this on crypto Twitter about XRP. You're not allowed to show glitches like this because it could get people to be too optimistic, and we cannot have that in crypto Twitter. But Jack the Rippler did it anyway. And by the way, I'm in full support of him doing it because I do not judge. I'm not judging anybody. If he sees a glitch, let's see the glitch. $10,000 per XRP. Now, we've seen a very similar glitch several times, and I'm sure it's just a glitch. But when I see 10,000 XRP, it always reminds me of Mark Phillips' classic article, XRP was designed for $10,000. The evidence is in its design. I want to draw your attention to one little section where he says, so how high can this go? If the entire $1.14 quadrillion value of all asset classes was tokenized via XRP, that would require at least 11,400 per XRP. This isn't likely to happen, but it demonstrates the scale of liquidity that XRP is designed to handle. And on the same day that I just happened to see this $10,000 glitch thing, and it reminded me of this $10,000 Mark Phillips article where he's talking about $1.4 quadrillion. I just happened to see this tweet today too. Banks are over leveraged. Quadrillion, that 1.4 is now 2, I guess. $2 quadrillion in derivatives. A crash is imminent and the economic fallout will be horrific. I've always thought, not always, but probably 2 or 3 or 4 years into this, the idea started forming in my mind. Did the 2008 financial crisis, I mean, because that is right in there, 2009 or so is when Bitcoin all of a sudden showed up right in the middle of what was going on. And I've always wondered if ultimately XRP was the created answer for that liquidity crisis that we had back then, or it was put in motion because it was like, okay, now's the time. This can't ever happen again. Saw this today. Now, what's interesting about this is that this isn't just from anybody. This is from this Carrie Lake who ran for, was it Senate in Arizona? She, let me see. She ran for governor. Okay. Anyway, she's in a heated battle for governor still, I think. She says, the depth of corruption will blow your mind. It is time to expose it and bring it down. FTX on steroids is Tether, the Biden world's crypto BCCI. Okay? Now, folks, there are things talked about in this article that we don't talk about on this channel. Okay? There are people in this article that we don't talk about in this channel, on this channel. Okay? But you need to go read that article, folks. You need to go read that article. But don't worry, Joseph Lubin, he defends Tether. He thinks it's there's no manipulation going on there. And, you know, you can trust him because he creates his own reality. Then there's this, Darren Soto believes a federal investigation into FTX is more than warranted due to alleged misappropriation. Okay, so we've got a congressman that's calling for an investigation into FTX. And I said, who in Congress will join Representative Darren Soto in calling for an investigation into FTX? We are about to see clearly who the good and bad guys are in Congress. I totally believe this, folks. Now, then you had this, breaking. Russian President Vladimir Putin calls for international settlements based on blockchain and digital currencies. And the same day, we get this from Anthony Welfare from Ripple. The next level of interoperability for CBDCs is the ability to work for global transactions without seamless cross-border functionality. Most CBDC projects will significantly underachieve their potential. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that $10,000 will be on my thumbnail, and it will be greatly offensive to some on crypto Twitter.